So we are looking at the pathway of death. And there are three things I want us to consider. Every time we talk about pathways, there are three things that makes for a pathway. Number one is that the pathway always leads to a particular destination. There is a particular destination to every pathway. There's a particular destination. There is the way it should end. So long as the individual is willing to follow to the end, by the time he arrives there, there is a destination. There is how the life of the man who treads upon a particular pathway must look like. It is when we begin to see such things in the life of that man that we realize that this man has been trodden upon a particular pathway. So the pathway has a destination, a peculiar and a particular destination. And secondly, the one walking on it at the moment may not necessarily be the first to have trodden upon that path. So what we are saying is that if it is a pathway, it means it's possible that some other persons must have walked upon that path. That is why the Bible talks about the ancient path. What that means is that other persons, they've trodden upon that path before the men that are on ground now. You understand? So when we talk about pathway, we are trying to let you know that there is nothing new about it. You are not the first person. Others have walked through that path before. You are only part of a long chain that is stretched from eternity into time. So all that you are doing is trying to add a block to the building that God started building even before you were born. So you're only on the scene to contribute your own quota. And when it is time for you to be taken, you'll be taken off the scene and another man will file in. It's a link, a long chain that is stretched across time from eternity into time. So that's the second thing to take note of about a pathway. And finally, a pathway does not give room to shortcut. And this one is the sad reality in Christianity today, because every one of us are looking for a detour. We are looking for a shortcut, a way by which we can cut corners. And I don't know, we just think that by taking a shortcut, by taking a detour, we can also arrive at that same destination that the man who decided to stay through the process will arrive at. But you see, that's the greatest lie that we will continue to tell ourselves. Even the Bible made it so clear that there is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end, like I've said before, the end justifies the path that the man has been trodden upon from the very beginning. So the pathway does not give room to shortcuts, and the attempt to take a detour will take us to a wrong destination. So if we are talking about the pathway of death, what we are saying in essence is that the number of deaths that a man has died will be revealed at the end of his journey, will be revealed by the level of result that emanates from the life of that man. And then you must also understand that some other persons have to die the certain kinds of death that we have been called to die. So you are not the first person to tread upon the pathway of death. The death is not even peculiar to you. Others have died before. So you are only privileged to die. Holy Ghost, help us tonight. Help us tonight. And then there is no shortcut to it. There is no shortcut to it. What Abraham drank, the cup of death that Abraham had to drink, everyone who decides to file in the same ranking as Abraham will have to drink from that same cup. It is because of this reason that when the mother of the sons of Zebedee, John and James, came to Jesus and said, at the end of the journey, ensure that one of my sons sits at your right hand and the other at your left. What Jesus presented was a questionnaire to the mother. He said, this thing you asked of me can only be done by the Lord, by the Father. But meanwhile, are they willing to drink of the same cup that I drank from? That's the part. There's no shortcut to it. You cannot boycott anything. It's everyone must drink of it. Everyone.